Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is your matrix test review. This is what you've been working on in class. All right, let's go ahead and go over these problems. Now remember, on problem number 1, this is an addition. These have to be the same size. So this is a 3 by 1, this is a 3 by 1. So you go ahead and add these together. So 2 plus -5 is -3, and so on and so forth, okay? Number 2, on number 2, notice this is a subtraction. So basically, this is a 3 by 2. This is a 3 by 2. So yes, 0 minus 2 is -2. Then, let's see, 3 minus 10 is a -7. Notice it's the corresponding points, all right? Number 5. On number 5, this is a 3 by 3. This is a 3 by 2. So it's multiplying. So that checks out. You can multiply it. The result is going to be a 3 by 2. All right? So 3 by 2. So when you multiply this row times this column, remember, it's 2 times 1 plus 3 times 2 is 6 plus -1 times 0. All right? So make sure you're multiplying correctly. Make sure you're multiplying correctly and adding correctly. That turns out to be 8. So this adds up to 8, 0, so on and so forth. Okay? Number 6 is also multiplying. However, this is a 4 by 2. This is a 3 by 3. Because these middle two numbers are not the same. They do not match up. Therefore, no, you cannot multiply them. It is a dimension mismatch. Okay? Number 3. Notice on number 3, folks, we talked about this. This is squared. That means this matrix multiplied by itself. Okay? Do not square these numbers. I don't want to see this become a 9, a 16, and a 1. That is not correct. That is not correct. So please do not do that. Again, you multiply them. Row 1 times column 1 and put it in address 1, 1. Okay? Once you have these established, write in your answers. That should actually be a 12 plus 4, and this should be -12 plus 1, I believe. All right. Now, number 4, again, distribute this 3 first. So you get 6, -3, 6, 15, 9, -3. And then you can either make this a plus a -2 and distribute, or you can leave it as a 2 and then just distribute the 2 to everything, and then just change this to an addition, then change the signs of everything to the right. All right? And then you combine 6 plus a -6 is 0. So make sure you take those steps accordingly. On this one, this is simply a -1, and you multiply that -1 times all 4 of these problems, or all 4 of these elements. Now this one, notice this is multiplication. The middle two terms are not the same. Not possible. Dimension mismatch. Okay, let's see how much time we've gone through so far. All right, 3 minutes. Let's do number 9. Remember, determinant for a 2 by 2. Remember, A, B, C, D. Determinant is A times D minus B times C. All right, I expect you to show your work on number 9. On number 10, don't be afraid of that variable. Again, 3 times x minus, so you get 3x minus a -8. Change that sign, and 3x plus 8. Okay? Here, remember, you're going to put this in the calculator. Determinant, matrix, and if you happen to use matrix A, that's how you would put it in the calculator. Determinant, matrix A. Remember, you get the determinant from option, mat, and then DET. Okay? All right, very good. Let's go to the next one. Number 12. Remember, this here, in order to find the inverse, it's 1 over the determinant times, you got to switch the A and the D. Well, let me rewrite that so where you can see that. Okay. Let me get a calligraphic. All right. So it's going to be, remember, it's going to be D, A, and then negative B and negative C. Okay. So make sure you do that. So in this case, 2 minus 3G. All right. So 2 minus 3G. Oh, actually, I take that back. Looking back at the original problem, I'm sorry. 2 minus 3G. All right. And this is your determinant. All right. That is your determinant. And you're multiplying it by switching. Remember, you switch the A and the D and change the signs of the B and C. All right. Number 13. You're finding the inverse. Again, 12 minus 25 is your determinant. So it's 1 over negative 13. You have to multiply this whole thing by each one of these numbers here. And you get negative 13 over negative 3 over 13, 5 over 13, 5 over 13, and negative 4 over 13. On number 14, put this in the calculator. You're going to do matrix A and just put it to the negative 1 power. Remember, you have to hit shift, parenthesis. Shift, parenthesis to give you that negative 1. All right. Now, on this one, your determinant, negative 10 minus negative 10 equals 0. So when you plug that in here, it is not possible because you cannot divide by a 0. Okay? All right, number 16. Some of you were having trouble with this one. In order to prove that they're inverses, you must multiply. Okay? You must multiply, and that's what I did here. Or you can put matrix A times matrix B. So mat A, mat B, and the result gave us, this is an identity matrix. So yes, they are inverses. All right, so yes, they are inverses. All right, now on number 17, remember what you have to do is you have to fill in these numbers. So this is your coefficients. I'm going to put this in A and put this in B. And when you solve it, remember, it's just like saying matrix A times your variable matrix, or in this case, XYZ, XYZ equals matrix B. Now remember, in order to get rid of that A, you got to multiply by the inverse on both sides. Let me scoot this off to a little bit. So this is the inverse of A times matrix B. All right, these two cancel out, and you're left with XYZ equals, and our answer was negative 4, 5, 1. But remember, I want it in this format. All right, that format is X, comma Y, comma Z, right, as a coordinate point. 18 is the same way. Notice. Now, notice here, there's a Y missing. So in that case, we put a 0 in place of Y. Same concept. You're going to do X, Y, Z is equal to matrix A, that's if you use matrix A, times the inverse of matrix A times matrix B. And that gives you this answer of 2, 1, negative 5. All right, number 19 and 20 are exactly the same way as 17 and 18. It's just more repetition for you, more repetition. Now notice on this one, I kept it as improper fractions. Okay? No decimals. Okay? They look nasty. No decimals. No decimals. All right? Let's see how much time we have. It's 9 minutes, but not bad for a review. All right, no decimals. All right, let's look at this one. Remember, women's team, bats, balls, and gloves. So this is going to be 12, 45, 15, 15, 38, 17 times 21, 4, 30. And if basically what that means is, hey, it's $21 for your bats plus $4 for the balls plus $30 for the gloves. So if you were to do that, so you get 12 times 21 plus 45 times 4, that's simply doing this right here. Row 1 times column 1. Okay? Row 1 times column 1. So that's 12 times 21 plus 45 times 4 plus 15 times 30. That's row 1, column 1. Then you do the same thing. Row 2, column 1. And what you end up getting is 15 times 21 plus 38 times 4 plus 17 times 30. And when you close it up, when you add up those numbers, what you end up getting is the price of women's, men's, and this is your cost of $882 and $977. But do not leave your answer that way. I want a complete sentence. So the women's cost, oh, it's not plural, for equipment was $882 and the men's was $977. All right, make sure you give me a complete sentence to wrap it up, conclude. All right, this one right here, remember we're talking about flowers. So you've got to define your variables. I'm going to let X equal carnations, Y equal roses, and Z equal daisies. And in this case, all the flowers together give me 200 flowers. Okay? That means it's $1.50 for each carnation, $5.75 for each rose, and $2.60 for each daisy. And that's going to cost me $589.50. Notice all these are prices. Okay? Just to let you know so you can see that these are all prices, so these all go together. All right? Now, the next one is, it says they order mostly carnations. So that's all well and good, but this is what I really need to know. All right, 20 fewer roses than daisies. So that means my daisies is going to equal to roses plus 20. And if you want to double check that, if you just want to put like 40 here, that means I would have 60 daisies, which is 20 more than roses. Okay? So it's just a good way to check. Now, I can't put this equation here. I can't put that here. So what I have to do is I need to make it look like, sorry, this is going to be a y. That's a y value. So I'm going to subtract y from both sides, and what I end up getting is y plus z equals 20. And that's what I'm going to put right there. So negative y plus z equals 20. Now, in this case, I'm missing my x value, so I'm simply going to put in a 0x. Okay? Now, let me go ahead and get this out of the way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a matrix. Okay? I'm going to make a matrix. Let me go ahead and minimize that a little bit. Let me go ahead and group it. All right, minimize it just a little bit. And so it's going to be 1, 1, 1, 150, 575, and 2.6. And then this will be 0, negative 1, 1. So there's my coefficient matrix, x, y, z. And then, of course, equals 200, 589.50, and 20. All right, let me go ahead and group that together. Now, once I have that set up, again, I'm going to put this in A. Here's my variable matrix equals B. And simply, I'm just going to do X, Y, Z is equal to the inverse of A times B. And you get in this answer, you end up getting, for number, this is number 22, you end up getting 80, 50, and 70. That's a 5, folks. So X, Y, Z. Now, let me go ahead and put all that together. Okay. Move this up a little bit so I can have more room. Now what that means is I have 80 carnations, 50 roses, and 70 daisies. And that's how I want you to write it, as a coordinate point. All right, let me see how much time I've got. 16 minutes. I'm going to try to keep it under 20 minutes. All right, the next one, number 23. Again, we're going to set it up. Notice that they're all for $20. All for $20. So simply what it's going to happen is gold, silver, bronze equals, again, matrix A times matrix B. And in this case, gold, silver, bronze comes out to 0.5, 0.35, and 0.25. What does that mean in terms of the problem? Well, what that means is gold is 50 cents, silver is 35 cents, and bronze is 25 cents. Okay? Number 24 on this one. Now, I want to show you this one. Notice that we have individuals of 120 event placers. 120. So, first place, second place, and third place all added up to the 20 places. Then, these are your points. So these are number of placers. These are the points. Okay? So this is 5 points, 5 points, 3 points, 1 point. Give me a total of 68 points. And then finally, the last thing says, with as many second place finishes as first and third finishers combined. So combined means addition, but I need to move everything over to this side. So I'm going to subtract F and subtract T on both sides. What happens is this turns out to be 0. All right? And I simply going to put this in the order of negative F plus S and then minus T. Notice that everything goes in order, okay? And so I'm simply going to slide this over here. Negative F plus S minus T equals 0. Now, once I have all of that established, I'm simply going to write me a matrix equation. All right? And I'm going to have 1, 1, 1, 5, 3, 1, negative 1, 1, negative 1. And it's going to be first, second, third equals 20, 68, 0. Again, this is going to be A. This is going to be my variables. And this is going to be my matrix B. Come up here. So I'm going to have my first, my second place, my third place. And I'm going to do the inverse of A, like we've been doing, times B. And I simply get first, second, third is equal to 7, 10, and 3. What does that mean? 7 first place finishers, 10 second place finishers, and 3 third place finishers. And that is the answer to the last problem. Hopefully you are prepared for the test tomorrow. Have a great day.